People often ask me how it feels to be so rich, and I'm going to try and explain it to you without arrogance, without bravado, without bragging. I want to genuinely make normal income people understand how it feels to be so rich. So just so you understand, a lot of people speculate about the kind of money I have. And the saying is very true. If you know what you have, you don't have much. Because if you know what money's in your bank, if you're the kind of person who has a bank account and you check your bank account and that's your money, and maybe a savings account and you check that, then you're poor. So now let me explain to you how it feels to be rich, that rich. I grew up in a Luton Council estate with no money. I grew up poor. I grew up in a single parent household. I was a fighter, and then I started to make some money, and then I ended up one of the most famous men in the world and mega wealthy. The thing that's crazy about being super rich is you don't think, wow, look at that. How much does that cost? I can afford that. You just think, I want that. The whole money side of things gets removed when you're rich. When you hit ultra wealthy, the world is free. When I go into a restaurant, I don't look at the price of anything on the menu. I don't even notice the prices. They don't even register to me. I don't even accidentally see them. There are no prices. I look at the food. I want this and this and this. And when the bill comes, I don't look at the bill. I just pay it. They could have charged me 10 times the amount. It doesn't matter. I just scan my card. So everything is free. You don't think I can afford things. You think things are free. I know this sounds strange, but this is what it feels like. So let's say I land in Dubai and I ask my PA, find me 5 or 6 of the nicest 5-star hotel and I want the president's suite of each one. I don't ask the price of each one. Each one could be probably 10 to 15 to 20 or $25,000 a night. I don't care. I look at the pictures and go, yeah, that one. There's no price consideration. There's no value consideration. I know there's some rich people who like still drive a Toyota and all this shit. They're not actually rich. That's all cope for brokies to feel better. If I was rich, I'd drive a Toyota like that guy. The rich guy who still drives a Toyota is either autistic or not rich, because the rich people I know have yachts and Bugattis and private jets. So the rich people you know who still drives a Toyota and doesn't drive a Bugatti and he just drives a Toyota, he's not rich. He has a couple $100,000 in stocks and you think he's rich because you're poor. A couple $100,000 is literally lunch. You don't know what wealthy is. So please get rid of all that cope that rich people don't spend money. That's bullshit. Rich people spend $20,000 on a bottle of wine. Get rid of all that bullshit of being humble and saving up in your 401k. All those guys on Twitter, those financial advisors, they're like, I'm a rich guy and I drive a car from 2001 and I have a 401k and I've saved up 1.1 million. $1 million is nothing. $1 million is not even a car. $1 million is not even a house. I have $100 million of cars. You're talking about 1.1 million in a 401k. You're poor. You are poor. So when you're actually rich, everything is free. Because we talked about cars and give an example. If I walk into a showroom, I look at the cars, I go, do I want this Lamborghini? I don't think how much does it cost? I don't think, can I afford it? I don't think, wow, I can afford it easily. Wow, it's cheap. I don't think any of that. I think, do I have somewhere to put it? Who's going to maintain it? Who's going to service it? Am I going to drive it? Who's going to take pictures of it to show off on the internet? Because I can't be bothered. I don't need it. There's no money consideration. It's free anyway. I could take the car, not take the car. My bank balance looks exactly the same. It's just a matter of convenience and storage. It's the same with women. When you become extremely rich and extremely famous, you can have any girl you want. So it's not like, oh, I want her, I'm going to get her. You just go, do I need her? Is she trouble? No, can't be bothered. Everything is free. Everything is on a plate in front of you. It's an endless buffet. And I really want to articulate this point. You stop considering the purchasing action. You don't sit and think, I have to purchase this and I can afford it because I'm rich. There is no purchasing. The world has shifted. You're in an alternate reality where every hotel is free. Every restaurant is free. Car dealerships are free. Clothes are free. Watches are free. Everything is free all of the time. And it's just a matter of if you can be bothered to put it somewhere, bothered to store it, bothered to look after it, what you're going to do with it. Because of the 106 cars I have, I've only driven 30. So there was a time when I really enjoyed just buying shit. But now it's really a matter of what am I going to do with this? So if you ever work hard enough, because it's actually very easy to do if you dedicate yourself, to become monumentally wealthy. If you ever become that rich and the entire world becomes free to you, you don't go through life thinking I can afford things. You go through life thinking that the simulation has shifted and that everything is just on a plate to be given to you, complimentary. I want you to understand the feeling. Let me give an example. I woke up this morning at a $35 million house. I'm driving a $6 million Bugatti. I'm now at a penthouse, which is $25,000 a night. Why do I have a penthouse in this hotel for $25,000 a night? Because I got it when I first got here before I moved into my penthouse. I liked it, so I kept it. It's all free. You understand? And if you add in fame like I have, then that really does shift your perspective, because you walk into a hotel anywhere in the world, Singapore, Dubai, New York, anywhere in the world. Mr. Tate, I can't believe it. I watch all your videos. My sons watch your videos. Oh my God, Mr. Tate. Yes, of course, Mr. Tate. Please, this way, the president's suite. Mr. Tate, Mr. Tate, Mr. Tate. And that's why a lot of famous people have these ridiculous egos. I, of course, don't have a ridiculous ego. I'm very grounded. I'm actually a very sensible man. There's men with a fraction of my money and a fraction of my influence with a million times the ego. I'm still a guy from Luton with lots of money. The people on the internet who have so much to say about everybody, not just me, about everybody, have no idea how the world really works. And I will state this now without arrogance. For my income bracket and fame and wealth level, I have got to be one of the purest people on the planet. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I go to the gym. I see my kids. I don't have work parties. I'm not partying on boats and islands. I don't do anything. Most of these losers who have an opinion, if you gave them 50 grand, they'd be doing that crap. let alone 500 million, you know? So everyone has an opinion on me, and everyone has an opinion on, celebrities and XYZ, but I truthfully live a pretty simple, basic life, and I feel happy every day. And definitely God is a huge part of that.
Fun is haram. Whenever I see somebody goes, let's have some fun, I say, well, what shall we do? It's never let's make a bunch of money. It's never let's get another passport or another residency or set up another shell company or set up a trust. It's nothing that matters. It's let's go to a party and then they'll play music and then we'll dance for hours, for fucking hours of your fucking life. Why? Why? You don't need fun. You need purpose.
You're going to feel happy as a man when you feel respected and needed. You need a purpose. People need to need you alive. If you're the kind of man who everyone's life can function perfectly fine if you get struck by lightning, then you're not going to feel happy. You're going to feel happy when you realize that people need you. And for them to need you, you have to be useful. And whether that's children or your girlfriend or your parents or anyone else who cares about you, I think living for other people is one of the most beautiful things a man can do, because it gives you a purpose, a higher purpose. And most of the men out there who live normal lives do exactly that. Why do they work jobs? They work jobs for other people. They don't do it for themselves. They don't even keep most of the money. It goes on the kid, the wife, the house, and they're taking care of others. And that's a masculine imperative God has instilled in us, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think if you're going to do that, you may as well do it for your own offspring. Who else are you doing it for?
If you're not pushing and striving for something, life is so mundane. What do you do with your life? What's there to do? I thought I need to do something which drains me so that I can go to sleep at night without frustration. And if I kickbox, if I run 3 miles to the gym and then fight for 3 hours and run 3 miles home, at least I can sleep. I literally couldn't sleep. I wouldn't say it's ADHD, but I was just frustrated.
I teach people how to make large sums of money on the internet. The reason I teach you how to make a lot of money is because it's the only way to have a lot of money. You need to make a lot of money. There's no such thing as investing your way to wealth anymore. Let's imagine you buy a house for $400,000. And let's imagine you sell it a few years later for $600,000. This is a miracle in and of itself, considering that the property markets in most places are collapsing. Why? Well, crime's out of control. Everybody with money is leaving the Western democracies because they understand it's all rigged. But let's pretend you bought a house for 400 grand and you found an idiot who will buy it off you a few years later for 600,000. A miracle in and of itself. You've made $200,000. Or have you? Firstly, you have to pay capital gains tax on that money. Then you need to take away all the lawyer fees and all the time you spent maintaining that house, cutting the grass and making sure the boiler works, and all the money you spent on the new kitchen. Let's take all that away. Let's not even charge for your time. Let's just charge the money that you spent maintaining this house. Let's say you're left with 100 grand. But in the last 3 or 4 years, inflation's been completely out of control. 80% of the dollars that exist were printed in the last 6 or 7 years. That 100 grand's only worth 50 grand. You've made $50,000 on a $400,000 investment in 3 years. You cannot get rich that way. What is 50 grand? 50 grand is a 2-week holiday in the Caribbean. You're never going to be wealthy this way. You can no longer just save. Compounding interest cannot outpace rising taxes and insane inflation.
It doesn't matter if you get 10% on your money. Getting 10% on your money per year means nothing because inflation's 10% minimum. They're lying about the numbers. If you make $1 million this year and $1.1 million next year, you are in exactly the same position. You need to make at least 20% on your money each year. And show me a saving instrument that's going to provide that for you. The only way to have a lot of money is to make a lot of money. There is no such thing as having a good, stable job and a mediocre income and saving and being diligent and 401k and compounding interest, and eventually you're going to have money. Not anymore. The problems I just described are going to get worse. Taxes are going to go up. Crime is going to go up. Even harder to sell your house. It's going to get worse and worse. It's impossible now, and we're on path for it to become more impossible. Nothing is going to get better. Your only chance of having money is to make a lot of money. So, I ask you, what is your plan? Because a job won't make you rich, saving won't make you rich, buying a house won't make you rich, getting a degree won't make you rich, you're never going to get a promotion, AI is replacing everybody anyway, you want to keep gambling on meme coins? We saw how that all went. Gambling ain't going to make you rich. There is no other way. The only chance you have of having a lot of money is to find a way to make a lot of money in a disruptive industry like artificial intelligence, something online, quickly act now, move now, make money now before everyone else catches on. Because by the time everyone else catches on, there's no money in it. You have to be one of the first people, just like Bitcoin, just like everything else. So you need to learn something new that may only make money for a month. You need to be there first, make money for that month, and then you can buy Bitcoin.
This is a life hack. If you go first, you have an advantage. The entire game of life is basically just finding a way to go first. If you were first into Bitcoin, you won. If you got a property all those years ago, you won. If you got into the stock market all those years ago, you won. If you get in a street fight, if you hit him first, your chance of winning is monumentally higher than if he hits you first. Going first is a monumental advantage in nearly all things. So when you're sitting at home thinking, how do I win? And it doesn't matter in what it is. Doesn't matter if you're trying to make money. Doesn't matter if you're trying to become famous. You got to be the first one to do it. So you should be in a permanent state of anxiety, feeling the stress of trying to find the opportunity to go before everybody else. The common average man wants to wait for everybody else to go first to make sure it's safe. That's why people are buying Bitcoin now. When everyone else went first, they were scared. But now everybody does it. They want to get in. Risk and reward are linked. Like a crazy woman who's hot. Unfortunately, the hot ones are crazy. It's how it goes. Yin and yang, light and dark. You cannot avoid these things. So you must be permanently pushing to move first, to take action, to do something right away.
There are full-grown adults who can barely pay their bills, sitting at home, scrolling on TikTok, watching teenagers dance. These people have lost their consciousness. They're like cows in a field. They eat a little bit of grass and they stand around. And they see a cow go into the slaughterhouse. Never comes out. They go back to eating. I mean, they're alive. And they see another cow walking. They sit there and eat more grass. Eventually, they're told to walk in the slaughterhouse. And they're like, well, every other cow walked in, so I guess I should walk in. We know how it ends. That's most people.
Most people live a life without focus. It's your time. You've been saying it's your time. It's your season. This is my year. You've been shouting and telling everybody, I'm going to receive everything that God has for me. Do you have the focus to receive it? One of the first things I learned in my life, and every so often I have to recalibrate. And I learned that as I take it more into my life, I have to bring order and structure. My response to pressure and stress is order and structure. Every so often as you get new blessings, new opportunities, new doors, new positions, new children, new life, new marriage, new house, new whatever it is, you have to refocus. Now you got more weight. Now you got more responsibility. Now you got more demands. You have to refocus, restructure, reorganize. Are you organized for what you prayed for? You have to structure or refocus for where you're going, not for where you've been. Some people have no focus at all. I talk, you'd be surprised. I talk a lot when I'm on stage. I'm quiet when I'm at home. You can't just be rattling all the time. It drives me crazy when people talk too much. It drives me crazy when they just go on and on and on and on because, see, I pay attention. And if you're not going anywhere with this, it drives me crazy. It's hard to follow somebody who doesn't have focus. Some people spend money without focus. You just buying stuff. I bought these shoes. Why? What do they go with? I don't know. I just thought they were pretty. So you're broke by happenstance. Money without focus will cause you to end up in poverty. Spending without structure, without strategy will deplete your savings. You have to have a plan to your money. Some people live with no focus.
Concentration. You've got to identify your target and let nothing stand in your way. Let nothing capture your attention unless it's in the best interest of your ambition. Let not an obstacle come before you without getting around it, trying a different path until you get there. The consummate professional on the field or on the court won't hear the jeering of the crowd. Their concentration keeps all noise and clutter at bay. You have to have just one thing in mind, keeping on track.